Planned Brotherhood is not affiliated or associated with Planned Parenthood. Planned Parenthood is a registered trademark of Planned Parenthood Federation of America, Incorporated.
I know kids are afraid of the dark, but we were really afraid of the dark.
Were you?
Both of us were. Like, we bonded over that, if nothing else. This is at a time when we hated each other, but especially when we
first.
Of the dark. What's that?
I'm still afraid of the dark.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of miss it. Like, I kind of miss being that scared.
Super uncomfortable.
Really? It's now it's more like sexual predators coming to get your daughter? Or?
No, like, if I get up in the middle of the night and I go to the bathroom, like, sitting down, of course, I don't turn any lights on, and like it'll just all of a sudden hit me how dark it is.
Wait, so you're sitting taking a shit in the dark? Is that what you're telling me?
No, urinating. I'll just like sit down, and I sit down to pee, and especially at night, I'm gonna miss. I have foreskin. But I'll just realize how dark it is and be like, oh my God, I need to get out of here. I need to get back into bed.
Yeah, but is it the same type of fear you had like as an 8-year-old?
Yeah, like blinding fear.
Of what, though? Because I can remember specifically thinking Pennywise the Clown was in my closet.
Well, I remember always thinking, like, hearing stories about demons and stuff like that. And Barry always told that scary story about a demon being in his bedroom, which turned out to be not the case. But I think it was always stuff like that, and I think it still is stuff like that. I mean, it's just as silly now as when I was a little kid. But yeah, if I've just seen a scary movie, like maybe the demon will take on the guy from...
You can't rationally think that. You can't watch The Ring and then think the girl's going to come out of the TV for realsies.
Yeah, sometimes I think that.
No way, man.
Yeah, that's how scared I get. It's irrational, I know.
I kind of admire that, though. Like, I kind of miss it. Like, I feel like I'm so desensitized by life now. When I was a kid, though, like... there were things that traumatized me and stuck with me and ruined me, but at least it was something. Like, I don't have the passion to be scared about anything that much anymore. Yeah. Like, I'll still have insomnia occasionally, but that usually leads back to depression, you know?
Yeah.
Like, just I fucked up my life and I'm thinking about that, or like money stress, but it's not the same as it used to be.
Yeah.
Like, especially, I mean, we were about the same age, so we were watching and scared of the same things. But when we moved in that house on D Street, I was probably 10, you were 8 or 9. Like, we had our own bedrooms. The place was huge. We had our own bedrooms that we never slept in. And in fact, it felt like a year. Like, there's something about the comfort of mom and dad, despite how nutty they are, right?
Yeah.
Like, and despite how much we hate them during the day, like, they're my comfort zone at nighttime. Because dad would stay up at all hours of the night watching TV.
Yeah.
And so,
pre-computer, we weren't catching him looking at porn or
Right.
anything, so it was okay.
Right. But it all goes back to the house on D Street. I remember it being like 6 o'clock. It's still light outside. Our neighborhood buddies are playing baseball across the street. But me, and I'm sure you too, was so scared at the notion of having to go to bed like 3 hours later and sitting in the dark by myself that I would force myself. It never worked, but I would at least pretend. We would lay on the couch, like on the same couch, head to toe, and fucking pretend we were asleep from 6 o'clock on, just because if we were already asleep on the couch by the time it was bedtime, hopefully they wouldn't wake us up to send us upstairs.
I think we came upon it accidentally. Like, one time we fell asleep on the couch.
Legitimately?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember the same thing, sleeping on the same couch head to toe. And, like, I remember one time I kept looking up at the movie Dad was watching, and you were kicking me, like...
Because you're blowing
Get down.
You're blowing it.
And sure enough, Dad saw it, and he sent us to bed, and you were so mad at me.
And then even on the times we get sent upstairs, at least for a while, I remember it was us... we have beds of our own. I had a water bed.
Yeah.
but we wouldn't sleep. We would sleep together, like in the hallway upstairs, because it was the closest area to upstairs where we could still hear the TV and Dad's obnoxious, unhealthy breathing.
Yeah.
And then I remember we'd come up with like illogical systems for each other. Like, okay, if you fall asleep first, I always wanted to be the one that fell asleep first.
Yeah.
Because if I'm awake and you're asleep, then I got nobody.
Yeah.
I got nobody to protect me from Pennywise.
Yeah.
And so we would work it out like, okay, if you're asleep, I want you to kick me so that I know that you're asleep. That doesn't make sense, Nick.
Yeah.
I'm talking to my 9-year-old self right now. That doesn't make sense.
I remember just being terrified to go to sleep. Even in the house we lived at before then, I remember just fucking hating bedtime and laying there in the dark. And even though we were sharing a room still, and one time...
It didn't matter. I didn't see you as protection back then from anything.
And one time, like, you told me, like, oh, I was so tired. It felt like as soon as I laid down in bed, Mom was already waking me up for school. And I always tried to achieve that, like, from that point on, was to, like, fall asleep instantly. And I can't. And, like, even watching TV, it still takes me a while to fall asleep.
Sometimes it does. I don't know. I usually just wait until I'm exhausted now.
Yeah.
And then an artist arrived.
Brotherhood!
We don't often have surprise guests. This is kind of fun.
Just thought I would stop by. Are we recording this?
Mm-hmm. I missed the "Hey guys, how's it going" part though.
Hey guys, how's it going? I brought a pumpkin pie if you want. And some stuffing.
We'll just insert Alvina's voice saying it, and then an artist appears.
That's not a bad idea.
I just kind of wander around the streets, poking into people's houses.
So, Sam, you don't like pumpkin pie?
No,
That's why I get the whole pie?
Yeah, I don't.
Does your mom know that and unloaded it on you anyway? Or?
Yeah, it's my grandma. She makes pumpkin pie just because, like, for some reason, my brother doesn't like it either, but he insists that it be there, like, on Thanksgiving. So she makes, like, 2 of them, and nobody fucking eats them.
What about cranberry sauce? How do you feel about cranberry sauce?
I like it. I like the homemade kind, but, I mean, I'll eat it. Like, if it's there, I'll have a scoop of it, and then I won't eat it again because I'll forget. Because it doesn't really, like, I don't know. It kind of seems like one of those things that's, like...
Does it taste like
it should be
cranberry,
there.
really?
I imagine
Like
it
it's
does.
really
I've never
sweet?
brought myself to eat it, I don't think.
You've never had cranberry sauce?
No, PJ's never had pumpkin pie. That's weirder.
Well,
No,
yeah,
yeah.
but you're not missing out on anything.
And your wife has like done her best to convince you to at least try it, right?
Well, yeah.
You
I
eat
mean,
salad now. Why can't you eat? Why can't you try a piece?
And omelets.
it just looks so gross. Yeah, omelets worked out for me. That's the thing is I don't want to fail.
You got to
I tried
try the
salad,
12
it was
pumpkin
great.
pie. And then
It just looks so gross, and it
Have you smelled it?
smells
You don't like the
disgusting.
smell then?
I think I've had a drink
Maybe you should
of
start
like
with a pumpkin
milkshake.
shake
Oh,
from
there you
Jack
go.
in the Box.
I think I've had that like at A&W maybe.
Oh yeah,
When we do pumpkin shakes, it's a shake of the month for 3 months in a row.
shake of the month.
There's
November,
always an
December, and
excuse.
January for no discernible
Yeah.
reason.
Wait. Okay, shake of them.
Shakes of the month at A&W.
I was imagining like a shake, like a guy with a big, crown. So, how you guys enjoying your time here in Seattle?
Just tell us about your night. Before you got here, we were talking about scary stories, and you have the scariest of all.
Oh,
I
thanks.
just learned this in the elevator.
Okay, so, well, I was hanging out with you guys last night for a while. And then
Briefly, I would say.
I figured nobody was going to get a recording done, and
We kind of did.
yeah.
I told him how that went, by the way.
So, anyways, we go back to my place.
We as in who?
Me and Jenny.
Okay.
And
Not even a code name, man.
This
You just went
Cobwebs?
for it.
oh shit, no, it's not.
Oh, okay.
Code name.
JK? You wanna
Well,
call it
she,
JK?
she don't mind if you use her name. She's hip.
Yeah, she seems all right. Anyway, so we go back to my place and kind of hang out for a while and go to bed. I don't know, fairly early.
By hanging out, you mean...
No, I just like sitting, like
I want the nitty-gritty
literally talking.
Over some wine?
Yeah.
Yeah,
About
yeah.
how jackassy we were being earlier.
God, those guys can't wait to get out of there.
I don't know. When you left at 8:30 on a Saturday, I thought maybe we had done something to piss you off.
Oh, was it 8:30?
Something like that.
No, it was just.
You weren't mad?
No, not at all. It was
Well, I
just,
should think not. You brought me a full pumpkin pie this morning.
Well,
so-
yeah. No, it was just, you seemed kind of bummed out or hungry or something, and everybody was like, I don't
Oh
know.
yeah. Well, that was the whole during the whole trying to order food and Nick
Oh,
yelling
yeah,
at
geez, that was a
everybody.
Yeah,
fucking
PJ
fiasco.
accuses me of being the asshole. Was I really being that out of control?
No, you seemed like like you are.
I just wanted to
normally.
get food ordered,
You were
and nobody
yelling.
was.
No,
nobody was
you
helping
didn't
me.
want to get food ordered. I wanted to get the fucking food ordered. You felt like everybody was asking too much of you, including it's your turn to play Mario 3.
I just remember. I don't want a hard noodle. I want a soft noodle. I was
No one would answer me about the hard noodle, soft noodle.
know what the fuck you're
No,
talking
no
about.
one
I don't
else
know.
thinks
I-
it's a big deal.
I don't understand your question,
No one
and I'm not going to
understands
acknowledge
this.
that you're talking at all.
like a crispy noodle.
Yeah, I don't like that shit.
I tell you, I was taken aback when I entered the door in the Chinese delivery. I had forgotten you guys had ordered food. I'm like,
Yeah, somebody must have let
fuck?
him in. I was really confused that we had food all of a sudden.
Well, there was a knock on the door. I wouldn't have.
This door, right?
I wouldn't have heard it, but Jenny was like, "I think somebody knocked on the door." And I'm like,
Weird.
no, I think that's just Nick. Anyways, what were we?
We're talking about your scary story.
Oh yeah. So we go to bed around midnight or something. There was some kind of drama or something. Not a big deal.
What?
Interesting.
She was just upset about something. I don't
Okay.
remember what.
Well, we don't have to get into that, I
Something
guess.
I did.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was.
The hard
Was
noodle.
PJ involved in
I
this
should have laid off
argument?
the hard noodle.
And so, anyways, we
Yeah, she gave me a hug when she left last night. Not so much PJ.
well, she doesn't know you.
I didn't hug her when I met her. I'm not a hugger.
And you told her you were a woman hater.
Oh, yeah.
You did?
I think you told her I'm a woman.
No, you
hater.
did.
Oh.
Just like as you just thought you'd point that out.
I don't know. It
It's
must have been
relevant
in
that
some
she
sort
knows
of
that.
context.
What are you thinking meeting somebody for the first time that's female, telling them that you're a woman hater?
I don't know.
She'll figure it out for herself in 10 minutes.
I'm sure I
trust me.
didn't say I'm PJ. I'm a woman hater. It must have come up in conversation.
She probably figured it
A conversation
out.
that you were steering from the beginning.
I think the second word you said at the bar was "pussy whipped" fairly loudly too. So
Oh,
probably didn't
she had walked away.
was
She was in the bar
away.
because we were calling you
Yeah.
pussy whip before she got there, but
No, as soon as
I know.
she
That's
got
why I made the joke when she got there. I thought she was out of earshot. Anyway, this is not about how big an asshole I am.
No, it's not. Anyway, so this morning I get up at I don't know. It doesn't matter. I'm up, and my brother is going to come over, so I'm going to kind of clean the house a bit. And I go to take a shower, and my shower curtain is cut in half. I have the outer lining a
Yeah.
cloth one, and then an inner one, plastic one, and it looked like somebody had snipped. There's a big gash in the cloth one.
and it wasn't this way last night.
No. And
Nothing funny went on in the bathroom last night.
no. And the
With scissors, no less.
yeah, and the plastic one was hanging by a couple of threads, horizontally cut in half.
Huh?
There's no fucking way that could have happened.
Yeah, there's
naturally.
no explanation as far as I can tell.
It scared the shit out of me.
Because your building, it's not like somebody could sneak in through a window or anything.
No, I know. Unless they
And if
scaled
they
up
are
the back
if they are
alley.
going to sneak in, why not stab you with those scissors rather than cutting your shower
I
curtain?
know. Why cut my shower curtain?
I don't know.
in
I
half?
think there's no explanation except for Jenny's crazy.
If
I think she's doing something in her sleep.
I think the only explanation is that she sleptwalked and did it. But why
But-
would you do that?
You don't think you did?
Yeah,
I
how
don't
would you
think
know?
so.
You're sleeping.
Yeah, that's true.
Were there any scissors laying around? You should see if there's any scissors in your house that match the cut.
Do you have scissors?
Yeah, I have scissors in my bathroom.
Okay, but they were where they should be.
Yeah,
Interesting.
I know. I'm really weirded out by it. I'm kind of freaked out actually.
Wow.
I think my house is haunted.
it would have been worse if you heard
It's a weird way to
something.
haunt somebody.
Could you
I
imagine
know.
hearing something in the night in the bathroom, like you heard something, and then you walk in there and all that shit has happened?
That'd be fucked up. I'd move out.
He turns
Yeah.
on the light. There's
It's
written
just
blood.
because you didn't
Humans
hear
can
it
look
that you don't
too.
move out.
What's that?
It's just because you didn't hear it that you don't move out.
I know. In fact, I almost thought about it today. I was like, oh, fuck, I don't want to sleep here anymore. This is scary.
Yeah, man, that's what we were just talking about before you got here.
It must
is-
be the girl.
You think?
It's got to be. I mean, if there's somebody else with you that night and you didn't do it, you trust yourself not to be that
Yeah.
freak in your sleep. But does she talk in her sleep? Do you mind my asking? Is there other telltale signs that something's going on here?
I know I think she said she might have sleptwalked before. No, but she was joking. I don't know if she talks.
She's no
in her sleep.
Mike Birbiglia.
No, she's not jumping out any 3-story windows.
man.
I don't know. I don't know what to think. And then the question is, if it was her, then am I safe? What
I don't know,
me
man.
She decided to stay.
Yeah, if you're sleepwalking and brandishing scissors,
I know. I gotta
that
hide
could
all the
lead to
sharp
bad
shit in my
things.
apartment.
But it's even worse.
Was Lorena
though.
Bobbitt asleep when that whole thing happened?
Maybe she went in there.
He was.
Is it possible she went in there conscious and had a fit?
That would be.
Like she had the urge to cut you, but went for the
Like,
shower
I'm going to take it out of the
instead.
shower curtain instead.
God, I don't know, man. I called her and asked her. I was like, "You didn't by any chance cut my shower curtain in half, did you?" She's like, "No. What are you talking?" And anyway, she got freaked out too when I told her.
It
that.
couldn't have just been a natural disaster.
No fucking way. It's jagged. It's cut with like a knife or scissors.
Weird, man.
I know. I'm really scared.
And now you got to get a new shower curtain.
I know. That's the worst part. I can't afford a new fucking shower curtain. Although, to be fair, it was pretty moldy on the bottom.
Yeah, maybe it's a sign from God. Maybe God literally came down with scissors. Was like, this will help this guy out.
He could have at least like padded my wallet or something instead. You know, I don't know.
I cleaned this guy's bathtub.
Yeah.
It was a chore, but I had fun doing it.
You want to come clean my bathtub again?
I don't know that when I was house sitting, I
house
cleaned his
sitting.
whole house. I don't know. Next time you're out of town,
All right.
it'll be tip top again when you come back.
Cool.
All I ask is for a pumpkin pie.
I can bring up pumpkin pie. So what was your scare? I guess you've already told it on the. Never mind.
Well, no, we were just talking about like what freaks we were as kids when it came to like irrational fear, and apparently PJ still goes through it even though he's an adult.
Yeah, I'm still pretty frightened of the dark.
You seem pretty nonplussed by my story. I don't know.
No,
Well, it's daylight outside
I
still.
mean,
Oh yeah. That's
If you told this
Yeah.
story once the sun set, I don't know.
Oh yeah, that would be scary.
I'm sure if it happened to me, I'd be freaking out.
I don't know what to do. I'm not going to go back to my house.
Ever.
I used to think that the movie Arachnophobia, like the sound of the spiders in that
Oh,
movie,
God.
like attracted spiders in the house. So anytime it was on TV in our house growing up, I wouldn't be able to sleep that night because I think that spiders were going to come from all over
they're
the
on
place.
their way to get
And
you.
I think that I still have that irrational fear. Maybe I don't watch it just because it's a terrible movie, but when Arachnophobia is on TV, I won't turn it there because I don't want the sound of the spiders in my house because it'll attract the real ones.
That's really weird.
Yeah.
I'd be worried about the sound of Jeff Daniels drawing Jeff Daniels to your house. I remember our father being a father one time. I was too young to be watching whatever it was on TV, but it literally involved an obese woman sitting on a toilet and then being attacked by a snake, like through the plumbing somehow.
Oh, jeez.
And I seriously didn't shit for like 6 weeks, I don't think. Like, that is fucking terrifying. That's a notion I don't want to deal with as an 8-year-old.
Oh
Yeah.
man, or rats coming up through the toilet.
Oh, man, I don't want to hear about it,
Yeah,
even
no.
now.
Frightening.
Do you guys think that when Sophie's like 4 or 5 and like will actually
Who's Sophie?
will actually just sit there with me? Can I not watch Goodfellas if that's on HBO right then?
I don't know, 4 or 5, she's retaining shit.
Yeah, I know, but it's not like it's a
Well-
scary movie with like clowns or monsters or anything like that. It's just cursing and violent.
Yeah, I think it'd be fine.
I don't
I
know,
think it'd
do
be
you
fine.
resent Dad for letting us watch the shit we did?
The scarier stuff, sure,
Yeah.
kind of, but
So you just have to be conscious of that. Although you never know what's going to scare a 4 or 5-year-old.
But a lot
That's
of
true.
it, like even one of you guys, if you curse around Sophie, like you'll be like, "Oh, sorry."
Well, yeah, we don't want to be like.
That's a
dicks.
lot of cursing around her, through
yeah.
that movie.
I don't know. I do have vivid memories of. When
just
I
wait
was a
till it comes
child,
on
like-
TBS.
Yeah, there you
Well,
go.
see, the
It'll be
thing
clean.
the thing is though, like we watched those movies with tons of cursing in them as a little kid, and it's not like we were potty mouths in school or anything like that.
No, that's true. In fact, we would do our best to rat each other out if somebody slipped up with a dam, even.
Really?
Yeah, man. I was always out to get this guy in trouble.
It doesn't mean she'll be a gangster. Plus, she's a girl, so she can watch Goodfellas with me.
Well,
Jackie Brown.
Jackie Brown. Yeah, as long as they're good movies, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
If I
really
happen
all.
to be watching a movie, I can't be like, "Oh, Sophie's here. I got to put on something PG-13."
Yeah, me as a dad, like I'd let my kid watch something that I thought was good.
Sure.
Like I'd still be pompous about it, just in the sense that
See,
this is worth watching and this isn't, regardless
Right.
of how many swears there are.
there might be an age to where like I wouldn't want her watching movies like on her own, so
Right.
that maybe if I did want to fast forward, like if I happen to be watching a movie and it's like, like Y Tu Mama Tambien or something like that, and my little daughter's sitting next to me, then I'll fast forward through that part.
Yeah, that'd be a little.
Oh,
weird.
so you're one of those parents that's afraid to expose them to the idea of sex, even?
It's more like
Have you worked out the birds and the bees talk yet?
it's more like I'm lucky enough to have a daughter, so I don't have to worry about having any kinds of those talks.
They don't need it
and-
explained to
What if
them.
Elvina's at work the day that the
And
period
I
talk
just-
needs to be given?
I just look at it from an outsider's perspective, like, oh, a guy with his daughter watching Y Tu Mama Tambien. You know what I mean?
kinda weird.
So
With
you're
all
just
the
worried about
sex
the
and
image it
stuff in there.
projects?
Yeah, like, and it's not a good memory for her. Like, her seeing some sex scene in a movie later, and it triggers a memory of I
Dad's
was sitting
erection.
with Dad watching this movie. I don't want that. She'll probably hate me at that point anyway, and then she'll really get some thoughts.
Yeah. All right. Valid point. I don't know.
Like that daughter in Magnolia. Is she making it up or not?
Which part?
Which one?
The daughter that said Philip Baker Hall was molesting her?
No, because he didn't know, remember? When she finally confronted him about it, he said he didn't know whether or not he did it. I think that's a pretty clear sign that he did it.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
Blocking something out of your memory.
Yeah.
I was gonna say though, I mean, because I remember seeing the beginning of the Last Temptation of Christ when they nail him to the cross or whatever. As a kid, as like a 4 or 5 year old, and that freaked the shit out of me. Like it didn't scare me. But
Now,
I mean,
were your
I was
parents
stuck
aware
with
that you were
image.
watching it, though?
They were aware that I was in the room, but they thought I was asleep. I was
Oh,
like
okay.
sleeping in the living room floor.
But you still remember that. That's crazy.
I still remember that.
How old were you?
image. I was like 4 or 5.
Yeah, that is so insane to me.
Yes, I'd be more worried about like that kind of, I mean, 'cause
Yeah.
the sight of blood.
Really scary imagery. Yeah, blood, I
I
guess.
don't know. I can.
Blood still grosses me out. You've
Yeah.
seen me at Inglorious Bastards, cowering under my hat in the theater. I'm a
Yeah.
fucking man, and you think I'd be able to handle a scalping or two in my time.
It was pretty gross. Though. I don't like that stuff.
It wasn't. Like, I calmed down an hour into it when I realized that the same way with Kill Bill.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
once I got over myself, I realized, you know what, this is pretty outlandish. Why can't I just enjoy it?
Yeah, Inglourious Bastards is tough.
You'll
though,
watch
with-
some depraved shit. It doesn't seem to bother you now.
like Inglourious Bastards with the carving into the head thing. Like, I just try to think of how it is makeup and stuff, and like I try to make myself watch it. But like when it's flesh being cut, like that's
Yeah.
really fucking gross.
Yeah.
that's.
Or anything having to do with the face either. If it's like really graphic, someone getting hit in the face.
Oh yeah, I don't like that.
Like their teeth getting knocked out or something like that.
Like the
Oh.
Jared Leto scene in Fight Club. I
Oh,
can't
yeah.
watch it. I gotta
No,
skip
it's
past
gnarly.
it. And the curb biting scene in American History
Oh,
X.
fuck, no, I know.
I saw the one time and that's it. And it's not like they show everything, but they show enough. They show his fucking teeth
yeah.
hit the pavement.
Yeah,
I
when
mean,
he
like
bites the curb.
you hear the clink of it,
It's
and it's so
disgusting.
fucking awful.
Isn't there? What is that? Irreversible. That's supposed to have that brutal beating scene.
Well, there's a 9-minute rape scene. We've talked about it on the show.
Oh yeah, maybe that's. What I
There's
thought
probably a
about.
lot of beating in it too. I imagine.
Yeah, I don't.
What's the movie that I heard about where the guy swallows the fish hook and then pulls it back out?
Oh yeah, Japanese movie.
Yeah.
That's
So I'll never
disgusting.
see it, unfortunately. But
I don't know. My brother loves that kind of shit. Like he'll. I remember coming home and he'd just watched. What is that? Peter Jackson, Dead Again or Dead Alive?
Dead Alive,
Dead
yeah.
Alive.
He's like, yeah, I almost threw up, but I made it through. Jeez, why do you
So he
fucking
likes
do
to
that?
challenge himself. You
Yeah,
think?
he loves that gory shit. I can't handle it.
Me neither. I'm not a fan of the Saw franchise for numbers of reasons.
Yeah, well,
I've seen
Don't
both
blame me.
Hostels.
really?
Yeah.
In the theater?
No, I think I rented the second one.
See, I could rent them and hope to deal with it, but yeah, I can't see that shit in the theater. Nobody wants to see that shit projected on a huge screen.
Fuck no.
Or in
At
the
least
case
you're
of you,
around other people, though. I think I could handle it better in a theater. There.
See, I don't know. Then I'm just worried that everybody's seeing me cry.
Yeah, they probably are making fun.
Do you get grossed out by like needles going in?
Oh, fuck no. Needles are the worst.
I used to be, and then all of a sudden I got over that. Like scenes in movies or TV shows with needles. Now I can handle it.
Like
I
injection
can
scenes?
I can watch a heroin junkie
If
and
you're
be fine
watching
with
The
it.
Wire, you need to be fine with it.
I know.
Oh, yeah,
Maybe
that's
that's what eventually got me over. Because The Wire is so beautiful.
Are you on the third season yet?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You went and rented
I'm almost
them
done
on
with the
purpose.
third season, buddy.
Damn, you're flying through those.
The listeners need to know that I'm watching The Wire now because I've been stalling for so long, even on air.
Yeah.
I get to go see Richard Price talk tomorrow. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, why don't you explain that a little bit? A live commentary of The Wire?
Yeah, by
I'd
one
go,
of the
except for I'm afraid
writer-producer-
it's an episode I haven't seen yet.
It's sold out, anyways. I think, or that's what Kelly was saying, because I think she was trying to get tickets.
Oh yeah, she was looking it up yesterday.
Should be interesting though. I've never heard. Oh no, I heard him on Fresh Air talk about his books and stuff. But
You should record it illegally and then put it online.
okay, how
And
do I
then give
do
me the
that?
link.
I don't have an iPhone though. What do I record on?
I don't know. We'll bring the equipment.
Okay.
Call the voice.
Just walk in there with a mic. A full-size mic sticking out of your pocket.
Nothing up my sleeve.
It'll be like a deleted scene from The Informant.
I saw that with you, right?
Yeah. Let's talk movies, guys, now that Sam's here and we're over the scary stuff.
Oh yeah.
I saw everything but the last half hour of Where the Wild Things Are.
Oh yeah.
That's
I
right.
heard
And
about
you don't mean to call you out on your fagginess, but you said that it was fucking beautiful, didn't you?
Yeah, I really thought.
I really didn't know because I'd seen it before you.
Yeah.
I really wasn't sure how you were going to fall on that one.
Like the movie as a whole, like I don't know, kind of the way it's put together. I might question, but like every single little thing in there, like, was just so awesome. When there was a scene when did you see it, Sam?
Oh man, yeah, I
We
cried
saw it
like a
together,
When he had the
child.
snowball fight with her friends,
Oh.
and he was having fun, and he's running, and like
great.
it's just him running for a long time, and he's so happy,
Yeah.
and he dives into his igloo, and then they crush it, and all of a sudden he's destroyed.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I fucking loved that.
It was
But did it
perfect.
move you? Did you cry at all?
Because
that scene you described, I almost cried your description of it.
I wish
Oh,
I
yeah.
wish I had
I
seen
know.
it by myself because Sophie wasn't into it at all, and it was
that
just
disappoints me.
It was just a distraction to have to be like
I'm
paying
trying
attention to her.
to remind myself that she is 2.
Yeah, that's true.
Who's enjoying anything at 2 at the movie theater? You know?
Yeah,
She might like Goodfellas though.
yeah, she might. I don't know.
See, more for me, it was the scene directly after that where he goes into his sister's room
Oh, man.
and fucks with her shit.
Yeah.
Including the thing he made for her. Like, I was fucking crying.
Oh, man, me too.
Literally crying at that scene.
Yeah.
And it did remind me of you. Like, that kid was angry from the first scene in that movie, dude. And it did remind me of you a lot for that reason.
The anger stuff.
PJ, I'm talking about.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
a hateful little kid.
You were, in the same way Max Records is.
Did it remind you? Of
I don't think that
yourself
was
at all?
acting, by the way. Huh?
So either. Did it remind you of yourself at all?
No, just PJ.
Oh,
He was the asshole sister.
he was. The,
But I could see you being so angry that you come in and tear up the popsicle stick heart that you made for me.
Yeah.
I could see that being you.
Devastating.
But then once they got to the island, wasn't as into it.
no, I know. Kind of.
I still liked it. I just
Yeah.
didn't think it was nearly as powerful as the rest of the movie.
No.
And I know, PJ, you had to leave before it was over. But I thought the last scene was really
It was
touching
great.
as well.
The live action stuff was.
Yeah,
great.
yeah. It was all the stuff away from the island that I thought was best.
I did too, and I think I enjoyed it better, like looking back on it, than I did. I mean, it never felt boring to me, but yeah, that island part is kind of like.
I don't know. It meandered a little, yeah.
Yeah, it did. All in all, though, it was a beautiful movie.
We've just offended every pretentious listener. I still love the movie.
I did too. Who?
Do you feel like more or less of a man when we go to movies together and then cry sitting next to each other?
To be fair, we were separated by at least one girl.
That's true. She was a lady.
But
I think I cried a little during the Time Traveler's Wife with my
Oh,
wife
you're
sitting
kidding
right
me.
there.
Really?
Because it was so much worse than the book.
It really was. There's scenes with like his daughter and stuff, who was way too much of an overactress, but she was still a cute little kid. I think I cried a little during that movie.
It's Time Traveler's Wife.
Do you contain it? Like, are you embarrassed by that? Like, if you're there with your wife, let's say.
I don't make a show out of it, that's for sure.
Obviously, and I try not to.
See a reflection off your cheek.
And she's
But once
she's
you
not
get to the
type
point
of
in the
person to always look over at me and see if I'm crying or anything, though. So I can just kind of sit there and do it in peace and not talk about it.
Right. At least with Up, we had the 3D glasses to cover it.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Did you see that, PJ? No, you'll never see it. Fuck Pixar. PJ's the one guy in the world that says that just to say it, not because he believes it.
they just no. I
Monsters
think-
Inc. was the movie you saw with your wife on your first date.
And I
you
like
think you'd be
it.
on board with Pixar forever.
Yeah.
You refuse to see these things, though.
I'm not-
Wall-E, I hear there's not any dialogue. Fuck that shit.
Sophie'd probably love that.
They
one.
just
Wall-E is
they just
touching.
bore
It's
me.
beautiful.
I'm not
never
that
saw
guy that just says fuck Pixar. They just bore me.
Animated movies in general bore you, don't
Yeah.
they?
Yeah.
What about Mr. Fox? Are you going to see that?
I'm actually really surprised that I want to see that.
Well, it's your Wes Anderson boner, probably.
Yeah, but usually I wouldn't think that could supersede my hate for animation.
Is it because you were never a kid?
No,
Or were you just an
I didn't love animation as a kid either.
That's
I
true.
never
guess.
got too into cartoons or anything like that.
Yeah, I was always
liked
the
Saved by the
Simpsons freak.
Bell and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I've always liked cartoons. Or what
Yeah?
little of them I was
What were
allowed
some
to
of your
watch.
childhood favorite cartoons?
What did I watch? I watched like the
James Bond Jr.
No, I don't know what that is. Well, Inspector Gadget we were talking about.
He doesn't know what it is, as if you didn't explain with the title.
Oh right, James Bond Jr. Is that
You can imagine what it is.
Is it Inspector Gadget? Is that the same thing?
What do you mean? It was animated.
Yeah, but is it
No,
the same thing? Because he's kind of like James Bond, sort of.
No,
he's like Mr.
bumbling.
Magoo.
Yeah,
he
yeah,
just
that's
bumbles his way through everything, and
This-
Penny does all the work.
Was
This
that,
was
weren't
a
we
cool
just talking
kid.
about this the other night or whistling?
Probably. It sounds like a bar conversation 2 hours in,
Yeah.
which is what we go for on this show.
Did you ever watch the Back to the Future cartoon?
I recall it existing.
With
In fact, I remember a
Jules and
Happy Meal
Vern.
toy, I think.
Really?
With the scary sparks in the background. Like, that was a dangerous children's toy.
Yeah.
I liked, what was the, there was two that I always get confused. The Darkwing Duck and DuckTales. I like them both.
Okay, well, we know which one's which. One was a
Yeah.
superhero and one was, woo!
Yeah.
A billionaire
That one I like.
who eventually had a kind of a superhero on there. Remember the Robo Duck?
Oh, yeah, I think his name was RoboDuck, wasn't it?
Ah, God, it might be. I just Googled this the other day at
that
the
the-
bar.
I remember I learned kind of how to draw that, and then I pretended like I created that format for a
Gyro
robot.
Duck. That's what it was.
Gyro Duck?
Gyro. Was that on the Uncle Scrooge one or the
Yeah.
other one?
And do you remember
DuckTales, yeah.
what the
DuckTales,
word to
right.
turn him into Gyro Duck was?
Give me 8 minutes.
Money bags.
No, I'll think of it for real, because we must have owned this VHS or something, because
Yeah.
this is springing immediately to mind.
And remember,
Gyro
the
Duck.
doofy guy who became Gyro Duck, this is just something he said all the time. And then when they invented Gyro Duck, they said, whoever says this word will become him. And it's like the most
I
random
know this
word.
isn't it, but I know it's something exactly like jumping Jehoshaphat's or something like that.
something
Kind
like
of. It's
What was
got
it?
about as many
What was it?
syllables.
I give up.
Blathering Blatherskite.
Damn it, I was so close.
Blather and Blatherskite.
Blathering Blatherskites.
And we have an episode title. Good night, everybody.
I hated
as a kid.
Tailspin.
Oh, yeah.
Tailspin was a piece of shit.
That was a terrible cartoon.
I don't like to see Balloon in a pilot's outfit. I don't buy it for a second.
Wait, that was the same thing as the Chippendale Rescue Rangers, right?
Yeah, I didn't like that.
Essentially.
Yeah, no.
I didn't like that.
Did you know that the show was almost called Nick and PJ's Rescue Rangers?
Really?
That was one of
that
PJ's
was-
suggestions.
That was the title idea.
My Brotherhood.
This show. I thought you were talking about.
No, when we had to
Rescue
deal with
Rangers.
Disney as kids.
There was always
Everything you loved on Disney Afternoon, me and PJ wrote that as 8-year-olds.
See, that's the thing. I hated Disney Afternoon. They showed that on
Goof
Fox.
Troop, remember Goof Troop?
Ugh. And Channel 11 showed like
Shut the fuck up.
Channel 11 showed like Animaniacs and Peaky and the Brain
Oh,
and
yeah, I
stuff
liked
like
those
that.
ones.
So it was always like I remember sometimes daycare kids would win out on like and they'd get their Disney Afternoon bullshit.
Which was terrible.
Yeah.
Aside from the theme songs, you have nothing to look forward to.
Have to-
It was all terrible.
Go outside and play or something like that with nobody else. Go out to the God. I used to go out like and play basketball by myself and be like, I'm gonna play every day and I'll be NBA. I didn't even care about basketball at all.
Oh, idealism.
Oh, yes.
Just for an hour. Those are like hour-long goals.
That basketball hoop's still back there. You know why? Because Dad poured all the cement that existed to put that thing in place. It's never coming down. Every time I go by our old house, like I see it there, and it's just the backboard. There hasn't been a hoop in forever.
Yeah.
But obviously,
They
it's
made you guys,
impossible
like-
to tear down now.
Like a basketball patio or whatever it is.
Yeah, we had
What
one
do
in
they
the
call it?
backyard.
A court?
It wasn't full size.
We
by
just
any means.
happened to have like a cement thing that I think a shed used to sit on, like a foundation. There's so many cracks in it. If the ball came out of the hoop just right, it'd hit this crack and like either pop or bounce over the fence.
Let's not forget about the devil's horn. That'll deflate your bowl.
Old
immediately.
devil's horn.
Devil's Horn? Is that like a geographical location?
It
in
was
the
something
backyard?
some daycare kid made up, like we'd always called it that. It was just a little jut that stuck out of the
He
pavement.
made it up years later. He was this kid that used to go to the daycare and just showed up one
His
day.
name, we'll say it because it's also a celebrity's name. Celebrity, I say.
Yeah.
Chris Klein.
Chris Klein. Basically a little Pete from the Adventures of Pete and Pete.
You're right.
But yeah, there's like a little thing that stuck up and he comes by years later and he's like,
Just to
remember
visit, like, let's hang out like daycare kids. You know, it was like a high school reunion.
he
except
was
for
probably
daycare
going
kids.
through
Watch
some
the
shit.
cartoons
Yeah.
or something.
And he looks at the thing and he goes, oh, remember that old devil's horn.
No, because we never called it that.
We never called it that.
What are you,
was
some
he
kind of
talking about?
idiot? I'll tell you another story about Chris Klein. We had a kissing club in daycare
Whoa.
where.
I did not remember that.
Okay,
I remember me and
I'm
Chris
talking,
Klein getting a peep show.
It's very heterosexual.
Yeah.
It was us and like the guys and the girls would split off, and I had a big crush on both Megan and Rachel. And
I remember both of them.
yeah. And so it was just a thing where it's like you'd kiss the girl on the cheek and she'd kiss you back, and then like
like
I'm not
a
a
kissing
virgin
club.
anymore,
Oh,
right?
okay. Yeah,
But Chris Klein was the one kid that none of the girls would kiss.
Did I get kissed?
You got kissed, yeah, man.
I don't
we got
remember
major play at the daycare.
Really?
I can't believe you allowed
I
yourself to
remember
block
this girl being Tabitha Ike. Tabitha Ike.
Ike.
Oh
Wasn't
my
it?
God, I
that had to have been
loved her.
your first official crush, right?
Yeah.
Tabitha
Have you looked
Ike?
her up on Facebook?
No, I don't even know if I know how to spell it.
I'm going to guess EICHE, listeners. Check it out.
Maybe a K. But I remember she was an aunt at a very young age. I always thought that was very cool.
She was an aunt?
Yeah, we were like 7.
that's
and
kinda
she was-
mysterious.
She was an aunt.
That's kind of
Like I was, just 2 years ago, I'm an uncle for the first time.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
still adjusting to it.
I'm
Like
nothing,
I
man.
can't get over it, really.
Yeah, it's kind of weird, right?
Yeah. You're an uncle too?
No, I'm nothing. I'm like a brother. And just,
Yeah, that's boring.
I know it is.
Chris Klein and I, we were at the daycare, and there was this girl. Oh, she was so slutty. I think her name was Amanda or Amber or something like that.
At daycare now.
Yeah.
Okay.
And she took us into the toy
You
room.
ever taking yourself a daycare slut?
No.
She-
Best puss I ever had, man.
She took us into the toy room, and this was when it was still Grandma's daycare when Chris Klein would go there, and
Oh, this story is so gross.
and I think it was like
Jerky bowls out at the
evening
same time or
time
something.
because I remember there being like parents out in the living room, and she like stood up on this little table in the toy room.
I think her name was Crystal.
No, yeah, blonde Crystal.
Sure.
Crystal.
She took off all of her clothes, and she's like spreading out her vagina and
How
stuff
old are
in
we
front of us.
talking here?
Oh,
Like-
God, she was young. Like,
Yeah.
not even double digits, I
Yeah.
don't think.
Jesus.
I'm like,
Isn't that
13.
fucked up?
What does she do now?
That was a joke when I said I was 13. In case.
Oh, you're doing
someone
another
at home
age
did
joke,
this.
PJ?
No, like we were probably all like 7 years old, and I cooked out and I ran out and I fucking told every adult in the house what was going on. In
As
that
you had
room.
every right to do. Nobody needs to see that shit.
No, no.
It was- and like I just remember Chris Klein like literally making this face like. He was so.
This isn't a video podcast, but trust us, gross.
He was so excited.
Wow.
But at 7 years old, like, he hasn't hit any kind of peak sexually, right?
I know. I was
Maybe
still
he was probably
scared of that
being
shit.
molested.
I was terrified of girls.
Yeah.
I know that.
I still am.
Kissing Club was more for me, like, where my tongue would be wagging out, I guess. But not because I was tongue kissing these girls.
on the
But still, it was very exciting, like, when I thought I was popular at the daycare. And that was my idea of play, and I got it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Remember that girl Becky at the daycare? She had a big crush on me.
How do you guys
Yeah.
remember all these names? I don't remember.
I don't
anybody's
know.
fucking name from daycare.
But Becky would always say king like this. Kinga. She'd always do the g after an ing. And
I don't remember that. I just remember her being all over my jock constantly.
She had a
She thought I was so awesome, dude.
it was Becky Gleason.
She was a fatty.
Becky Gleason, and then Jason Gleason was her brother, who I hit in the face with a baseball once. And her little brother Michael Gleason, remember him?
Oh, he's the guy that punched his fist through our glass door in the back.
Yeah,
Really?
he like
Yeah.
punched
During
through
daycare
a
hours
window.
while, while mom is
He was a fucking rage head. He was so violent.
yeah, and mom finally had to get off her duff and put General Hospital on hold for a minute. Like
Wow.
that's literally what my mom did.
That's where she learned her surgical skills.
from a little kid.
Over there in Port Charles.
Does that qualify you as a nurse's assistant? Just enough General
I used
Hospital.
to think I could perform CPR pretty easily. I still kind of do, just based on watching Rescue 911.
You guys ever do the CPR thing with the actual dummy?
No.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I
had to
did
get
it once.
certified
I
or
can't remember why, but I had to for a job or something. What? It's humiliating.
I know, especially at. Well, actually, I
Alvina
had to
just
do it like as a kid.
voluntarily took that class.
Really?
Yeah.
What do you need that?
Since having a kid, though? Because that would make sense, I guess.
Yeah, but it was more for her job.
Oh, okay.
She didn't care about the kid.
I had to sit through a fucking 10-hour OSHA committee certification thing for my job.
OSHA?
Yeah, like
I'm not
OS.
sure I know what that is.
It's like the I don't know. They do clean air stuff, workplace safety shit like that. But Christ, man, 10 hours of that stuff. And that was part of it, was the resuscitation deal, because I guess you got to know how to resuscitate people.
Dumb. I feel like I could do it. You
Yeah,
tilt
it's
the
pretty
neck
easy.
up.
Based on what, the procedural shows you watch?
Rescue 911. They would always give little tips, and it's like, leave it to a qualified professional, but just in case.
So you learned CPR from Rescue 911.
Yeah, and it's like, lift
Did you ever
the
watch
neck
that
up,
show, Sam?
No.
And you're supposed to ask them over and over again, are you
Shatner
okay?
hosted it.
Are you okay? You need to make sure that they actually need help.
So you're pretty sure you could do like a bronchial bypass too, just from watching
Is that where you throw the pin in?
Yeah, I'm assuming that's what it's called.
I don't really know why you would need to do it, but if someone said that's what's going on, I could probably do it.
No, you couldn't.
No fucking
This is
way.
like
Stab it.
This is like that terrible episode of SVU where Olivia is stuck in an elevator and has to give birth to Mrs. Belding's baby.
Wait, how did that? Oh, she
so
had to deliver it.
In this SVU,
Give birth to is how I chose to phrase it.
So in this SVU, Olivia was the surrogate for Mrs. Belding.
Correct.
Okay.
You didn't see that one?
Is it still at Bayside High? Where they invented an elevator for that one episode, just so they could do the baby born in an elevator. It's literally Zach goes, "Oh, I got the key for the faculty elevator."
Saved by the Bell. Sam didn't watch TV. Go on.
Oh,
I
sorry.
thought you said it was SUV or S.
No, that was
No,
that was
a
my
joke.
attempt at a joke.
Oh. Although
Then
I feel
I
like
go-
I've gotten caught up on all my missed childhood TV moments because of your fucking.
So you don't have to watch them. You just have to hear us make fun of them.